Hello class, very good morning to all of you, and hope you all people are doing great at your home, taking care of your loved ones, and yes, focus on the study. So myself Vivek Yadav, and I am here for the biology class, and today we are going to discuss class 10 topic, that is heredity. In that we are going to discuss that monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross we already completed in the last classes. And now today we are going to discuss that how these going to be expressed. Okay. How the trait that we have discussed is got expressed in the organism. What is the mechanism behind that? Because till now what we have discussed, we discussed about the reason or factors that yes, a gene is actually responsible for the trait, but how gene responsible for the expression of trait, how a particular presence of gene may cause tallness or dwarfness or change in the color of the flower, change in the shape of the seed. The molecular mechanisms behind that we are going to discuss today. Okay. So yes, so we should start with the topic. Okay. So we all know that it is actually gene which contain gene which contains specific information. Yes, specific information, and the information that we actually known as trait. Yes, a particular gene is responsible for a particular kind of trait. Got it? So now what is gene? Small fragment of DNA. Correct? There are large number of genes in DNA. Correct? There are large number of genes. There are more than 25,000 to 30,000 types of genes are there in the DNA. Okay, in human DNA. So, and we know what is DNA? It is genetic material. It is genetic material which encode the information okay, regarding, we can say regarding structure, morphology, or we can say that the blueprint of organism. Yes, the blueprint of particular organism is actually encoded, or information with that is present in the DNA, and DNA small fragment is known as gene, and genes are large number in size. Large number of genes are there in the human or in the organisms, and they have specific information. Yes, till now you people got the concept. Now what next? Now we will move to the molecular structure of DNA. As the style we used to say double stranded, double helical structure of DNA, they are made up of nitrogenous bases. Yes, actually DNA is composition of nucleotide, right? Correct. There are the composition of nucleotide, and nucleotide is the composition of nitrogenous bases, sugar and phosphate. Yes, nitrogenous bases and sugar phosphate. go to the structure, you will see this is sugar, phosphate, this type of structure will be there, and with the sugar, your nitrogenous bases is going to be attached. Okay, going to be attached. So we know it is double stranded. So sugar, phosphate. In this way you will get, and here again you get the nitrogenous bases. Okay. So actually the long chain, this sequence is going to be takes place. Okay, if you are double bonded and if you are triple bonded, that we will discuss later. Now what happened? Okay, hope you people understood till here. See, we are talking about molecular mechanism. So please give some focus on the topic. You people will come to know why I am saying all this. So the nitrogenous bases that we are saying, as we are discussing about DNA, so the main nitrogenous bases, 4 types of nitrogenous bases are there. The main nitrogenous bases which are there are adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. These are the main 4 nitrogenous bases which are present in DNA in a continuous series. Okay. So short form for them is A for adenine, C for thymine, G for guanine, and C for cytosine. Till here you people should know. Means get the item. Now remember one thing. Adenine always pairs with thymine. In one strain, suppose this is adenine. Okay, in one strain, suppose this is adenine, then this nitrogenous base is going to pair with thymine. Same way, if it is guanine, it is going to be attached with cytosine. Okay, so combination will be adenine double bond thymine, guanine double bond triple bond cytosine, or vice versa, that thymine with adenine or adenine with thymine. Okay, so this is the going to be thing. Okay, now what next? There is continuous presence of nitrogenous bases. Suppose adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. This is an example. Okay. Okay. Now, as I told you, adenine always pairs with thymine always with adenine, guanine with cytosine with guanine. So, what will be the next structure? Yes, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. Yes, so this is actually the form continuous nitrogenous bases are going to be present without any gap or something. Now there is a structure known as triplet codon. 3 nitrogenous bases, okay? 3 nitrogenous bases together known as triplet codon, okay? And each triplet codon act for a particular kind of amino acid. Yes, they act for the amino acid, and one amino acid joins with another amino acid, and so on. What they form? They form the peptide. Yes, and what is peptide? We can say a single, or we can say the simplest form of protein. Okay, it is simplest form of protein. Okay, it is a simplest form of protein, or you can say that different types of peptides, more than 1, 2, 3 peptides combine together to form the primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary structure of protein. Okay. Now the important topic is, we know that all enzymes are protein. Yes, all enzymes are protein, and the hormones that secreted in our body, the enzymes secreted in our body, most of them are generally protein. So we have studied that for the different kinds of function in our body, there are different types of enzymes and there is secretion of hormones takes place. For example, take the example of growth hormone. Correct? Growth hormone is there which is responsible for the growth of an organism. Am I correct? So what we have discussed in the case of Mendel, that is tall and Wahl. Okay. So suppose that this particular sequence of genes that you are seeing here is responsible for the secretion of growth hormone. Got it? It is responsible for the secretion of growth hormone. So suppose that in an organism this particular gene is present. So if this gene is going to be present, what will be happen? There will be increase in the secretion of growth hormone. Yes, and if the growth hormone will secrete in higher quantity, okay, if growth hormone is secrete in higher quantity, what will be happen? The organism will be tall. Correct? The organism will be tall because growth hormone is getting secreted. So the growth of the organism going to be takes place properly. So in this way there are lots of factors. Suppose an enzyme is, a gene is responsible for the color, a particular kind of color. If that is going to be secreted, the color may be white. Okay, but during the process of replication, when these genes are going to be formed, suppose there any mismatch takes place. What I am saying, mismatch or any mutation takes place in sequence. Suppose instead of this adenine, there is addition of cytosine. Okay, there is addition of cytosine. Ultimately, this is going to be changed to the guanine. Now the triplet codon, which was initially TAA, okay, TAA, now changed to TCA. It may be possible that now the amino acid which is coded by this particular triplet codon is going to be changed. Correct? You are getting me? What happened that due to change or mismatch or mutation in the gene, okay, in the nitrogenous bases, what happened? The amino acid coding changed. Now this peptide may be not able to produce growth hormone in sufficient quantity. Got the concept? That after this mismatch or mutation, it is possible that this particular gene is not able to synthesize the growth hormone in proper amount. As a result, what will be happen? The secretion of growth hormone going to be decreased. As a result, going to be decreased, and as a result, what will be happen? The state of tallness, the organism may be medium, okay, may be medium or dwarf. Am I correct? Yes. So this is how actually gene help in the expression of the trait. I told you there are different types of genes with specific and different function. So what types of gene actually transferring from the parents to the offspring, okay, or they are getting expressed actually in the organism, that determined by the secretion of that particular hormones or chemicals. Okay, if they are going to be secreted properly, you will see the dominating feature. If not, then you are going to see the recessive factors, because it is not like if you are talking about height. In practical science, we can't say that anyone has zero height. Yes, it's not possible. They must have some height, but we can compare that as tall and dwarf. In the same way, color, eye color, hair color, ear pinna. So lots of these features are there, which are actually examples of the genetic expression or gene expression of the gene with respect to the secretion of that particular hormones or enzymes or protein which is responsible for that function. So if that going to be secreted properly in higher quantity, dominating feature you will see, otherwise the recessive or less content of that particular property you will see. So hope you understood the concept of how trait get expressed in living organisms, right? Just a minute. Yes. Now the next thing is to have sex determination in human beings. Next thing is sex determination in human being. Okay, we will have a little introduction. In case of human or in case of any organism, when we talk about sexual reproduction, we know that the body is generally divided into two parts. That is depending upon the cell. One is somatic cell, yes, and another one is a germ cell. Okay, so somatic cells is actually responsible for the formation, yes, of body part, or we can say they are the result of the growth of body part, right? Because of they undergo which type of division? Mitotic. They undergo mitotic division which causes the multiplication of the cell number. As a result, our size or our growth takes place. When we talk about germ cells, okay, they form by meiosis. They form by the meiosis, which is a type of cell division, and they are the result of the gamete, okay, and which can transfer from one generation to another or next. Correct? From one generation to the next generation. Actually, it is gamete which are haploid in nature. What? They are haploid in nature, and here it is diploid in nature. So somatic cells are diploid in nature, and gametes which are formed are haploid in nature. They contain half the number of chromosomes. That is, paternal character is going to be present in the gamete half, maternal character is going to be present. So when by the process of fertilization they fuse, they will get the 100% composition of that particular organism. So this is the basic concept. Okay, how? Now, in the introduction or when we are going to talk about different organisms, as we know that different types of organisms are adapting in different environment and conditions. So there are some cases in environmental factors also determine the sex of an organism. In our case, it is not environmental. Okay, it is genetic. Totally genetic factors or our parents determine that what will be the genetic makeup of the new ones. But in many cases, you will see that it is environment. Okay, it is environment which is responsible for the determination of what? Sexual characters. So example, take the example of what? Some reptiles are there. Okay. Some reptiles are there in which the temperature of the environment decides whether the offspring will be male or female. Okay, there are few reptiles in which actually it is temperature of the environment will decide whether the organism is going to be male or female. There are few cases, okay, like snail. Okay, in that an individual can decide or it can interchange itself to the male and female. So there are lots of astonishing features is there in our biodiversity's earth. Okay, this is our earth. We can see lots of biodiversity, and see this is what an organism can itself, like snail. Okay, depending on the condition, they will change themselves into the male and female. So these are few examples. But what we are saying, I'm talking about human beings. It is actually the parent which determines the sex of the organism of the individual. So in human, male, female. Okay, female is represented by X and X. Okay, male is represented by X and Y. They are diploid in nature. They are the parent which are diploid in nature. But when they produce the gamete, okay, when they will produce the gamete, they are going to be half. Suppose this is female and this is. So they have only one, that is X chromosomes. Okay, perfectly paired X chromosome of the same size. So female have only X option. Okay. In the case of male, it is by the process of meiosis. They are going to be divided in the haploid set of chromosome. One you will get X and another you will get Y. So some features with this is that in the size when we are going to talk, X is larger and Y is smaller. It is larger in size. Okay, this is smaller. X chromosome in the case of male is larger compared to Y chromosome. Now what will happen? The lots of experiment process of Mendel that we have discussed. We know that gametes are independent to assort themselves, right? So what will happen if this female eggs are going to be fertilized by this X sperm or male gamete? You will get X and X. Okay. Same. This can be chances of fertilizing with Y also. You will get XY. Same here X and X. Okay. And here what you will get? X and Y. So you can see the probability of 50-50%. Okay. So you will get the probability of the male child 50% and the probability of the female child 50%. One thing here you can see, it is not female. It is not female. Actually, it is male which determines the sex of organism. Okay, it is male going to be determine the sex of the organism because it totally depends that whether it is X sperm means X chromosome containing sperm fused with the X cell or Y containing gametes or sperm fused with the X cell. If it is X chromosome which is fertilized or fused, it is the result will be female child. And if Y chromosome containing gametes fused with the X cell, the resultant will be a male boy or male organism. Okay, so this is what sex determination in human beings. So hope you people understood the concept, and yes, this composition you will get different in different types of organisms. Okay, in case of bird there is heterozygous condition responsible for female characters or female birds. Okay, so there are some different kinds of examples. So hope you people like the class, understood the concept, and yes, with this topic we have completed the chapter of heredity according to NCERT. In the next class we will discuss with the next point or next topic. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day.